we all know the green staples, the cards that everyone's playing. What about the cards that nobody is playing? Today we're going to be looking at 10 green cards that nobody is playing, but they should be. Starting off with number 10, Viewpoint Synchronization. It's a 5 mana green sorcery with the ability Free Running, where you can search your library for up to 3 basic lands and reveal them, and then you get put 2 of them onto the battlefield tapped and the other in your hand, and then you get to shuffle. It looks kind of like a more expensive Cultivate, and only 0.67% of decks are playing this, but is this type of card worth it? Well, it should definitely be seeing more play because it has a higher ceiling than Cultivate. Cultivate is always going to be find 1 land for the battlefield, 1 for the hand. This card says, if you deal combat damage to a player this turn with an assassin, chances are you don't have one of those, or a commander, it costs the same as Cultivate, except for it's better. And so it's excellent with an evasive or a low CMC commander, something that has flying, something that's aggressive, and now I can play a Cultivate, but better than a Cultivate, because it's like an explosive vegetation and a Cultivate mixed together. And it's only 28 cents. Next up is number 9, Elephant Grass. Elephant Grass. It's a 1 green mana enchantment with a cumulative upkeep of 1. Black creatures cannot attack you. Non-black creatures cannot attack you unless their controller pays an additional 2 for each attacking creature. Only 0.26% of decks are playing this. Really? But why? It's a green ghostly prison. Have you ever seen a green ghostly prison? And the art looks kind of funny. It has a very cheap cost. You put it down for 1 mana, and at the upkeep you got to pay 1, but you only really play it when you're in danger. You don't play this on turn 1. You play this on turn 5, turn 6, sometime when you need the protection. It is an excellent pillow forting option, and in green, we expect pillow forting options from blue or maybe from white. But Elephant Grass gives this to you in green, a color that nobody's going to expect, and it's only for $2.88, and it has an elephant, which is one of my favorite animals, so that's got to be worth something, right? So Elephant Grass should definitely be seeing more play in our green commander decks. Number 8, Jaheira's Respite, a 5 mana green instant. Search your library for up to X basic land cards, where X is the number of creatures attacking you. Put those cards onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt this turn. Only 0.7% of decks are playing this, but why? Why so few? This is both Fog and Ramp. This is an excellent card for people who, let's just say, get the attention of the table, incur people's wrath, because if you're the target and you have a card like Jaheira's Respite, instead of ramping, you just sit back and someone's going to swing out at you. And when they do, all of a sudden, not only do you fog them, but now you ramp. And the more that they're attacking you, the more lands you get to have, which is an excellent option for 5 mana. Because really, for 5 mana, you only need them to attack you with, 3 creatures? And that's something that's definitely possible if you're the threat most of the time. And also, it enables crackback because now they're tapped down and your creatures didn't die in combat. And so it opens the way for you now to be able to hit the person who just helped you to ramp, which I guess is fair. And this is an excellent option with high CMC commanders like my Karthus deck, where it costs 7 mana. I need as many ramp options as possible, but if I'm ramping too much, then I'm making myself open to someone just hitting me. And so Jaheira's Respite's like, what if you can have the best of both worlds? And I like that. And so it should definitely be seeing more play in our commander decks. Our next is number 7, Viridian Joiner. It's a 3 mana green elf druid. Tap. Add an amount of green mana to your mana pool equal to Viridian Joiner's power. It's only getting played in 0.48% of decks. This card is 100% underplayed. This card is powerful in decks that manipulate power, pun intended, like elf decks. Or all of a sudden, my Viridian Joiner is now not tapping for 1. Now it's tapping for 3, 4, 5, even sometimes 6 or 7 mana. I have Timberwatch Elf. I'm going to make my Viridian Joiner at 20/20. I'm going to tap it for 20 mana, and I'm just going to go wild in an elf ball deck. This enables a large burst of mana, which is excellent in elf decks, but also if you have a deck with equipment in it, now all of a sudden your Viridian Joiner is going to get way more powerful. I'm looking at you, Cloud X Soldier. Play Viridian Joiner. All of a sudden it's going to get super, super powerful, and then you're going to get a huge amount of mana, which lets you play all of your equipment, which is excellent. It gives you a large burst of mana for very little investment, only 3 mana for a creature. It's an excellent choice that green deck should be playing more of, and it's only It's only 0.48 cents, so it's under $1. It's an excellent choice. Moving on to number 6, Dawnstrider. It's a 2-mana creature spell shaper. It has Fog. Whenever you pay green and tap it, and you discard a card from your hand. Tomer from MTG Goldfish had this on his video on underplayed or undervalued cards, but it's only being played in 0.08% of decks. It is undervalued because it is a repeatable fog. Remember how I said if you're the person who likes to, or who is the threat most of the time, like I guess that's me, I like that role. It is a repeatable fog where now I can pay a green and tap it. I discard a card. What big deal. And now all of a sudden there's no damage that's going to be dealt to me? That's amazing. I love that. And what about in my Taval deck? Where now all of a sudden you're enabling my graveyard synergies by tapping it, discarding a land that then Taval is going to get me back the next turn. It's an excellent option. So if I'm a green player who is oftentimes a threat, this is a cheap pill affording option that also affects the graveyard, which is amazing. And now, thankfully, it's only $5.48. So it's definitely an option that we should be looking at in our green decks. Number 5, a card I have loved since I first opened it in a pack, Bellowing Tanglewurm. It's a 5-mana green worm with Intimidate, and other green creatures you control have Intimidate. This is being played in only 0.58% of decks, and this is a sleeper because this card gives our green creatures evasion. Green creatures are not subtle. They are what they are, and they tell you exactly what they are. And they're big, they're strong, they hit really, really hard. And Bellowing Tanglewurm's like, but what if they were also evasive? Did green creatures need to be evasive? No, but we will take it anyways, because now, out of nowhere, you can just end the game. People, when they are playing, are expecting to be able to block you according to what the board state looks like on their turn. Bellowing Tanglewurm's like, but what if I change the math for blockers where now if you don't have artifact creatures or if you don't have other green creatures, then you're not going to be able to block me. And now you just end the game. Someone who thought that they were safe are no longer safe. And so Bellowing Tanglewurm is best in powerful green creature decks where you want to have evasion to go with your super powerful creatures. Bellowing Tanglewurm, it is an excellent choice, and we should definitely be playing it more in our green decks. Number 4 is Snag. It's a 4-mana green instant, but don't worry about the mana cost because you're not going to be playing it for its mana cost. You get to discard a forest from your hand instead of playing Snag's mana cost, and you prevent all combat damage that would be dealt by unblocked creatures this turn. It's only being played in 0.06% of decks, and what does it do? It is a free green fog. Clearly you can see that I'm used to being the threat at my pod's commander table. I'm used to being the one that everybody wants to hit, and I tend to overplay my hand, and so I like having the option of having a free green spell. Snag allows me to just have a free turn. There was a game that I was playing about a year ago where in my Deval deck I reached a little bit too hard, and then I got hit on the crackback, and I had tapped out, so I was dead. With Snag, I'm like, what if I just discard a forest, and all of a sudden I'm saved from the 4 tree folk. They're hitting me in the face for 21 damage or whatever it was. Snag allows for me to be more aggressive because now I have a fallback where now if I know that I have a fog option, I don't need to worry about holding back blockers. Swing for the fences. Try and take out the guy who's the most threatening towards me. Now, notice that Snag prevents only the combat damage that would be dealt by unblocked creatures this turn. So if I am blocking a creature to try and kill one of their creatures, that's not going to work. So with Snag, just let them get through and then just play Snag. And if they counter, oh well, you'll get them in the next one. But this is excellent in green stompy decks, decks that have reliable access to forests. It's only 28 cents for a fog. You are in excellent hands with Snag. Next up is number 3, Tornado Elemental. It is a 7-mana elemental that when it enters the battlefield, it deals 6 damage to each creature with flying, and you may have Tornado Elemental deal its combat damage to defending players that weren't blocked. It's only being played in 0.06% of decks, and this is a secret tech for green decks, because this is a green board wipe. How many board wipes does green even have? Here's one, Tornado Elemental, ETBs, and it deals with one of green's biggest weaknesses, which is flyers. Why am I sharing this card when I am the proponent of Dragon Tribal? This deals with my dragons, which makes this a painful card for me to share, but I'm sharing it with you because it is a way to deal with flyers that are really annoying. And on top of it, it does its damage to players as if it wasn't blocked, which is really great. So This is excellent in aggressive decks. It's excellent in green decks. It's excellent especially in a pod where you expect to be seeing lots of flyers. Tornado Elemental does it all, and especially with Lorna Eclipse, with all the elemental synergies that are in that last set, this is getting better and better, and yet it's still only 33 cents. So pick up a copy of Tornado Elemental and you won't be disappointed. Number 2, Dense Foliage. It's a 3-mana green enchantment. Creatures cannot be the target of spells, only being played in 0.04% of decks, and this is a green all-star. It is Half Shroud. Technically, it only deals with spells, it doesn't deal with abilities, but honestly, how much of a danger are abilities? Really, most of the time we're worried about spells. It is Half Shroud. Also, it does affect all creatures, not just your creatures, so it's best in non-interactive decks. Like, by the way, most of the dragon decks that I play are not highly interactive because I'm spending all my mana playing big aggressive dragons that are trying to deal with you. But what really annoys me is when you remove my dragon with a Swords of Plowshares or a Path to Exile. Dense Foliage is only 3 mana. It also messes up your opponents who are trying to use their removal spells on each other, so maybe you can get some favor from people, and it's less than $1. Dense Foliage is an excellent option in green decks for only 3 mana. You can't go wrong with it. Now, finally, for our Dragon Lord pick of the week, Steely Resolve. It's a 2-mana green enchantment. As Steely Resolve comes into play, choose a creature type. We're going to be choosing dragons. Creatures of the chosen type, meaning dragons, can't be the targets of spells or abilities. This is only being played in 0.04% of decks. This is ridiculous. Dragon players, we have the same number of people playing Deflecting Swat in the Dragon decks on EDHREC as Steely Resolve. How many dragon decks, especially the Dragon decks, how many times are you expecting to play the Dragon? Not that many. And so Deflecting Swat, basically it's 3 mana to choose new targets. Steely Resolve, on the other hand, every time you play it, it's 2 mana, it's way cheaper. You give all dragons, including your opponent's dragons, but that's fine because mostly it's our dragons, they get Shroud. That means you're protecting your Thundermaw Hellkites. You're protecting your Nicol Bolas the Ravagers if you're in the Dragon deck. Steely Resolve is excellent. Dragon decks, we need to be playing this card. It is cheap protection for our expensive dragons. What feels worse than paying 6 mana for or 7 mana for an old Gnawbone and then for them to just Doomblade it? I know some people still play Doomblade or murder it. Man, I'm dating myself. Yeah, or they just swords it, or they exile it with Path to Exile. It is a must-have in Dragon Tribal. Now, perhaps the reason why this card was not seeing a whole lot of play was because it used to be $43. It just got reprinted in Marvel Superheroes, and now the card has dropped from $20 or so, what it was a couple weeks ago, to now being less than $1. So this is your time now to pick up a copy of Steely Resolve, the alternate art from Marvel Superheroes. This is a card that will protect all of your fun favorite dragons from all of the removal that your opponents were saving just for them. And so now this is the end of the video. Which of these cards will you be playing in your decks? Which of these are you already playing in your commander decks? And remember, if you've enjoyed this video, remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll be seeing you again in the next one.